A man said to me, Neville, a man took credit for my work. He received the promotion that should have been mine. Everyone congratulated him. He was praised for what I had done. Years have passed, yet I still become angry whenever I think of it. What am I to do? And I said I knew a man who hated Roosevelt. Every morning while shaving, he argued with him. Roosevelt was not there. He could not hear him. He did not know that this man, razor in hand before a mirror, was carrying on a quarrel with him. Yet the man spoke as though Roosevelt stood before him. Morning after morning, he returned to the same conversation. He added to it, embellished it, improved it, and always departed from the mirror, convinced that he had finally said what should have been said. So I asked him, why do you do it? Do you not know you're only hurting yourself? And he said, I know it. But if I told you what a thrill I get out of it. Now that is a strange confession, but not an uncommon one. For man does not always wish to be free of the thing that hurts him. He may say that he wishes to be free, but secretly he returns to it, not because it is forced upon him, but because he finds a certain satisfaction in it. He returns to the old conversation because there he is right. There he is justified. There he is the injured one. There he can say what he did not say, and answer what was never asked, and win a battle which no one else is fighting. Do not think this man was peculiar. Roosevelt may not be the name in your mind. It may be someone who disappointed you, someone who failed to understand you, someone who deceived you in business, someone who wounded your pride years ago. The person may have disappeared from your world, yet he remains alive in imagination. Now let me tell you of my father. He also spoke with men who were not present, but he did not summon them to argue with them. After breakfast he would sit quietly in his chair. To one who did not know him, it would appear that he was doing nothing. But he once said to me, I am doing my day's work. Then he told me what he meant. He would bring before his mind's eye the men he wished to deal with that day, and there, within himself, he would direct the conversation. He would tell them exactly what he wished to tell them, as though it were true. Then he would hear them tell him that it was so. And when he was completely satisfied with that inner conversation, then he would go to town. That was his work before the work began. He did not wait for the day to tell him what it would be. He entered the day in imagination and heard it answer him according to his desire. But the man before the mirror brought a man before his mind's eye and carried on a conversation with feeling. The very power that could free him, he used to bind himself to an old quarrel. Man is not idle when he is talking within himself. He may be silent outwardly, but he is not silent inwardly. And that conversation, if accepted and sustained, begins to clothe itself in the circumstances of his life. This is why Scripture tells us to put off the old man. The old man is put off when the conversation that sustains him is no longer entertained. So listen to yourself, not in fear and not in condemnation, but with honesty. Where does your mind go when it is free to wander? Whom does it call before you? What does it hear in return? There you will discover the state to which you have been faithful. If you discover that you have been carrying on an old quarrel, Do not condemn yourself for it. That would only continue the same thing under another name. Do not entertain it. Do not continue it, simply because it has become familiar. Let it fall from you and begin another conversation, one that would be natural were your desire already fulfilled. If the thing you desire were now a fact, who would know it? What would he say to you? What would you hear in return? Carry that conversation until it takes on the tones of reality. Sustain it until it feels natural, and it will objectify itself in your world. So, my friend, what are you to do about the man who took credit for your work? Withdraw your attention from the quarrel. Give your attention instead to the man you would be were the matter entirely behind you. For no man can serve two masters. He cannot continue to dwell in resentment and become the man he desires to be. For the conversations of man are not powerless. They are creative. Order them aright, and they will become the very events of your world.